Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we have got a 1 versus 1 on Fata Morgana. Playing on the northern side as the Steel Legion of HUNtington, while on the southern side as the Chaos Space Marines we have got Custom King. Custom King will be opening up with a couple of cultist squads and a Chaos Temple, whereas HUNtington is going to go for a couple of Pioneers, a Legionnaire squad, a Legionary Barracks, a Generator Plant, and he's also gone for the Tank Company Tech Path as well. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of this game, I do want to say that as this video is going live on a Friday, I'll be on my way to Comic-Con in London. So if any of you guys and girls are cosplaying or doing anything cool around about that area, let us know, and I'll be out on the night out having a drink and stuff. That'd be cool. And if not, then that is okay too, because I respect your life choices. But yes, Steel Legion and Chaos Space Marines, Custom King. He lives, he breathes. I'm fairly certain he is actually a Chaos Space Marine in his spare time. He's very well versed in the ways that these guys go. He's always quite an aggressive player, and he's going to go for some Raptors and no plasma generators. So that implies to me that he's going to come in as fast as he can over here, getting some decaps and smashing some people around. We are seeing some Rough Riders for Huntington, so they're kind of like the Steel Legion equivalent of a fast mobile close combat unit, so they'll be able to keep on top of the Raptors. Now, I remember a while ago in the previous patch, the Rough Riders were quite decent in... Oh, I can't follow them when they're reinforcing for whatever reason. But yeah, so that was my attempt at doing some camera work there. Never mind me, I've learnt my lesson now. But yeah, so these guys used to be fairly decent in the range department. You would quite often see people just put them in range and they would just stand around and shoot things. But I guess in this version, they're just going to come in, start stabbing around these cultists, whereas the Raptors attempt to do exactly the same. Huntington going for a lot of Pioneers. These guys won't be able to defend themselves all that well, although they will certainly attempt to try it, but they will do very little damage to these guys, all things considered. Legionaries over here has finished their capping stuff, so they will be able to come in to defend. The Rough Riders continue to chase around the cultists. Now, with these guys going for the Tank Company, we won't be seeing much in the way of any boons in the early game. As they get into that tier 2, which I assume they'll be trying to get to as quickly as humanly possible, yeah, they'll be able to, you know, get more tanks out, which will be quite useful for them. The problem with Steel Legion is that quick tech into tier 2 is a bit of a pain for them, because they've got to build their research relay building as well as then also research their tier 2, so quite hard for them to do a quick tech up. They are going to hide inside this listing post and all start upgrading it as well, so double shooting power. Cultists now going to come over and try and cap the outside part of the Steel Legion base. Steel Legion haven't been able to get around to their relic, which the Chaos Space Marines have been able to do so. Rough Riders attempting to break down listing post, which is probably not their ideal kind of target. They could come over here and deny this relic just by sheer mass of stabbing things. Chaos Lord going to come over and not try and get involved in close combat with these guys, just shoot him with his bolt pistol, which is quite a strong weapon in all things considered in the range department. The Raptors unable to really go inside the base, as all these bits and bobs have been upgraded. So rather than trying to push out, the Steel Legion are just going to play quite defensively. I'm going to sacrifice their outside bits and bobs for the moment, and I don't think the Chaos Space Marines are planning to build this up. This listing post essentially here just to deny the Steel Legion the ability to recap that. Horses now being chased around by the Raptors, being outnumbered. But I think in a straight up 1v1, I actually don't know who would win this. Rough Riders do more damage, but I'm running on the assumption that they have a lot less health. They're now coming over and seeing what they can do. Oh, I see, they're going to try and force down that heretic. Imagine being able to get him. He's quite low on health. He's not exactly the fastest of builders. Yeah, he's been taken down. Plasma generator will be denied for a little while. And does Custom King have any built up at the moment? No. The longer they can deny this plasma generator, the better, as that will stop the Chaos Space Marines from going into tier 2 for a fair while. Cultists chasing after the Legionnaires, so it's just Benny Hill all over the place at the moment. They're going to fall back into the protective gaze of this listing post. Going to turn around and straight away kill a fair few of their models. Relay station has been built up. There are no tier 2 research on the go for them at the moment. Chaos Space Marines have just finished their plasma generator. There's a long climb up to that 125 green that they need. Raptors attempting to cut off the retreat path. Listing post still knocking around on here. Economy has been 74 and 10 compared to 74 and 20. So even though Steel Legion have been hemmed in to their side of the map so far, they are on economic parity with the Chaos Space Marines. Another relay station also allowing them to get some grenade launchers. Grenade launchers for Steel Legion have to be the best grenade launchers. All Imperial Guard factions. Fast firing rate. Good knockback. And the Raptors are in a bad position here. They have managed to get a squad wipe on those Pioneers on the right hand side, but losing a lot of models in the process. And these guys reinforce at 60 blue money. So quite expensive to replace.
Pioneers reporting.
And yeah, they're not going to win this now. Rough Riders will be able to ride rough over them. Cultists moving en masse to the left hand side to capture the critical location. And more heretics being spawned forth. But currently at the moment, Chaos Space Marines in quite a nice position. They've got the map control for the moment. If they could just keep on denying this area to the Steel Legion, they should be able to be entering Tier 2 into a very strong economic position. Which, oh dear, just as they're about to come in for a decap, Custom King puts down another listing post. I do apologise, hold on a second. I do apologise, just had to recover from a tickly cough. Not a full cough, it's one of those really annoying ones that make a cough a lot. I suppose it is a proper cough, then, I guess. You know what I mean, it's not a chesty cough, that's what I'm trying to say. By the way, Raptors, very low on models at the moment, but at least they're able to keep these Legionnaires on the move while the Chaos Space Marines open fire on them. And I imagine if Custom King is going to go for a ranged focus composition with the heavy bolters when that Chaos Armor comes online, will be quite useful for them. But in saying that, might be an idea to go for Hell Talons and the usual Defilers. But then again, saying that again, it is Custom King, and it's only a matter of time before the Vindicator comes online. You just know it's going to happen. It's just the rule when Custom King is playing. Big slap on those Legionaries. And Tier 2 is finished for the Steel Legion. And they're now going to go for some Armageddon pattern Sentinels. And at the moment, the Chaos Space Marines have got no anti-vehicle stuff on the go. And actually, maybe this might be the one time where Vindicators probably aren't the way forward. After all, if these guys come out with some autocannons, they can resist that Vindicator fire. Just come in and shoot it down pretty quickly. Every bottle turret being placed in between these points. This is supposed to actually be finished. It's a really difficult situation for the Steel Legion. We're getting some deja vu from a Fata Morga game from the other day. I suppose the meta for this map has been well and truly figured out. Definitely one of the most popular maps, if not the most popular map for people to play on. Steel Riders, or should I say Rough Riders, preventing that missile turret, or should I say the heavy bottle turret from being finished up. Heretic has been killed. The Raptor's going to attempt to avoid close combat with these guys, try and chase down those Legionaries, preventing them from using their grenade launchers. Chaos Space Marines don't want to really get involved with those Rough Riders. They won't win a close combat engagement against those guys. Chaos Lord attempting to support the Raptors on the right hand side. Second Armoured Sentinel there. The, what should we call it, the autocannon on this dude. But doesn't want to get involved in close combat with the Chaos Lord, as the, I mean that dude, well, just slap him down all day long. And the Armoured Sentinel doesn't have any capacity to defend himself. But squad wipe going on over here. Well, were you just cultists? You were just cultists, so it's fine. Now the Steel Legion will be able to reclaim their lost land, which is quite good for them. But 74 and 40 compared to 122 and 40. So Chaos Space Marines, like I say, have been able to gain quite the economic advantage over the Steel Legion. But aggressive players from these armor pattern Sentinels. After all, they're quite cheap, quite fast as well. So maybe they can come in and do some damage. Here comes a Hell Talon instead of that tried and tested Vindicator. And in a straight up firefight, don't know if a Hell Talon can take on 3 Armoured Sentinels, or Armageddon Sentinels, sorry. Certainly give it a go. Here he comes. The opening salvo. Yeah, actually, to be fair, maybe in a 1v1, it'd be a different story, but being outnumbered like this, all's being repaired by those Pioneers. I'm not sure how good the repair rate of those Pioneers are. Didn't really seem to do all that much. Chaos Lord slicing down every horse he can see. The morale's been broken. and they will have no choice but to exit combat from that mighty power sword that he has. And going to go for a Defiler. Interesting. I mean, we saw how effective one Defiler, one Helltown was, so it might have been an idea just to go for another one. Oh, he's making his bed. Defiler able to slap those Sentinels in close combat, as well as providing some artillery fire and some flamer fire as well. Interesting placement for the Toronto turret. Could have done with putting it a little bit closer, just so it could cover the relic. And the Defiler, yeah, he's struggling against these dudes. Already got a good chunk of his health been taken out. A Fawn Princess somewhere. She's over here doing stuff. And also got that sacrificial circle. Horrors on the way. Raptors still alive, actually. Really impressed that they're still knocking about. Legionnaires attempting to ignore them as best they can, but will not be able to do so. Listing post now being built up by the Steel Legion. But HUNtington not quite been able to finish building on top of there yet. Of course, Space Marine Lord manages to take them on. And we do have the Defiler. Was that the Defiler? Yeah, the Defiler's over here. Quite short range piece of artillery, but does the job all the same. The Helltown taking care of that defensive turret, but also slaying a Sentinel. Oh, there we go, bringing him back. Double Horrors, keeping that Sentinel at bay. Pioneer's unable to really do much in that engagement. Chaos Lord have been surrounded, and he has been slowly but surely whittled down by these persistent horses. Also got Squad Legionnaires on the ridge here. And with a missile launcher, although just the one at the moment. And also that missile launcher is very low on health. And make sure that he stays alive. Oh dear, oh dear. Knocking around one Legionary there. What's coming over to take care of the listing post. The vehicle damage. Oh no, you do building damage. So that's fine. Oh, I've got a Hydra. That's fun. Remarkably long range. Almost like an artillery machine gun. Does relatively good damage against all targets. Although definitely got a preference for going up against infantry. Oh, these poor Legionaries. Really struggling up against this Defiler. Good lord, like what? Can you actually see him? I suppose when someone's firing at you, you can see them in the fog of war. It's a remarkable range. The siege continues.
There's some pressing up here.
And the Steel Legion has been unable to really get out of their base at the moment. They're putting up a decent fight. Vehicle cap increase and a vanquish tank case on the way. Gotta be careful of these hover squads, but I suppose that the Hydra is doing what he can against them. And with him going for the tank company, he's got extra squad cap and all that stuff for certain tanks. But can he amass the tank power enough to defend as best he can? I suppose most tanks, as I've mentioned before, cost more green money than they do blue money. So having a lack of listing posts isn't going to be the be-all and end-all when it comes to the Steel Legion economy in this game. Vanquish tank case about to come out, and are you the anti-infantry version? No, you're not. You are the anti-vehicle and building version. Can you snipe out a Helltown there? Who are you? I mean, I suppose you can kind of turn your hand to most things, I guess. Hydra about to go down. Can they kill it before it? There we go. Managing to narrowly save the Hydra on a slow repair. Want to come back. Might need to get a Trojan out just for those quicker repairs. The double Hydras keeping those horror squads at bay. And at the moment, a really competent defense from HUNtington here. He's got the range, he's got the firepower. Trojan now coming out. Going to absolutely make sure this Hydra just stays a little bit further back. Does not really have the money to replace any kind of lost vehicles here. A lot is riding on his ability to maintain his current fighting forces. What have you got coming out over here? Oh, some more Pioneers, fair enough. I suppose one thing that Steel Legion benefit from here as well is that they don't need capping units to cap their strategic points. They can just send the builders in to do stuff. Leave the tanks to carry the large weight of things. becomes an iconoclast. Reinforcing the Sisters of Slaughter, a lot more expensive than they used to be. 75 blue and 50 green. Only really viable if you've got a lot of money. Oh dear, the Hydra. Hold on. Be alive. No, not quite. That Trojan all the way back here. So effectively losing 50% of the Hydra power there. Like as if a dam collapsed. Pardon that pun. Legionnaires almost scaring away that, or almost killing that Iconoclast Zealot. Another Hydra goes down. Defiler that goes down as well there. Steel Legion tying up these horrors. Also being exploded by a Defiler there. Defiler, I'm sorry, not Defiler. Vanisher Tankers, can you fire upwards? Yes, you can. Wondering then for a second. We'll attempt to roll away as best he can. Have another Hydra being spawned forth. And I still can't quite push in. Wolfsmith also very low on health at the moment. Only 13 health at the moment, but should be able to bring that Helton back to full health in no time flat. And what an amazing display of technical competence from Huntington here, using those vehicles for his defense. It's a losing battle by the looks of things. I mean, what, 67 and 29 compared to 115 and 79, and Kingston King has not even spent all of his money. He's probably got some more nastiness inside here. I assume obliterators. But we've seen stranger things happen. Oh no, we've got a Forge Fiend over here, which does stupid damage. Steel Legion, though, attempting to get another Hydra. Being surrounded by all this stuff. Might have been an idea just to stay at home and try and recap all your stuff. Being a little bit too aggressive there. Trojan going to repair the Vanquisher tank case as best he can. An Obliterator squad. He's going to be a very tough customer for this tank case. Forge Fiend firing in over on top of those Legionnaires. Forge Fiend being slowly broken down, but not nearly quick enough. Cultists also seeing what they can nab on the sides, just to make sure that those Steel Legionnaires don't capture anything for too long. Trojan is dead. Tank case soon to follow. There we go. Also another Hydra. What else can be done from the perspective of Huntington? What kind of money have we got left over? Not much at all. Still going to hang in on there. More Hydras on the way. Well, I suppose maybe this is the reason why we don't see the tank company very often. Now, don't get me wrong, as we saw here, tanks were able to hold off for a very long time, but if you don't get your map control early on, if you can't maintain your economy, it doesn't matter how strong your tanks are, if you can't physically build them in high enough quantities, you're going to be a little bit out of your luck. Here comes Demon Prince, just to rub salt into the wound. I mean, some Stormtroopers would have been amazing here. The Stormtroopers can turn their hand, being anti-vehicle and anti-infantry. Also infiltrate them and deep strike them in as well. Quite fast, those Hydras there. Speed away from that Demon Prince. Also fire backwards as well. It's a wonderful harassment unit. Yeah, I don't know about the tank company for Steel Legion. I really like their upgrade. Or should I say the general revamping of the Steel Legion. I do believe that it makes the faction a lot more even-keeled and just aesthetically pleasing, vocally as well. Done a really good job on it. But I don't know, the tank company in a 1v1 setting at the very least might potentially be in a bit of a weird position. But then again, it might have been a bad game for Huntington. And there we go, the tank production building has gone down. Hydra's just whisking left and right, attempting to do what they can. And that is basically all she wrote, boys and girls. Nothing much left for the Steel Legion to defend. They've now got lots of money. They don't really have the will to spend it on anything else. Not doing any cheeky kind of, there's no base trading going on down here that I sometimes miss out on. And HUNtington says GG. Custom King also says GG. Gentlemen, first and foremost, as they say. Yeah, so I think I quite summarised everything up towards the end of that. Not enough stuff going on in the early game. I did quite like the Rough Riders making sure that they were doing what they could down here. Also denying this plasma generator for a little while to keep the Chaos Space Marines on the back foot, but maybe being less aggressive with them and using them to defend some stuff over on their side might have been a more useful use of their time, I suppose. But hey ho, so thank you so much, boys, for sending this game in. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week, and there is also a Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. As for Miss Landshark, pleasure's always never show. Now, see you in a bit. Peace.